The latest version of Tesla's full self-driving 12.5.6.1 just came to my car, and you are watching it in this video right here. And the good news is it has slowly started to roll out to more Tesla full self-driving users, so hopefully that will scale up and everybody with full self-driving will be using this version soon, because I gotta say it is incredibly impressive. Now, you know me, I call out the bad stuff. I do get excited about the good stuff though. I am an optimist, but I'm also a realist, and this version has just been awesome. Does that mean we're going to have a robotaxi next month and I'll be sleeping in the backseat? No, of course not. But for what it is, what's running on my car today is impressive. Especially the end-to-end neural net highway driving. Wow, it really feels superhuman. Now, there was a small change here. If you saw in my 12.5.6 video, the max speed was being shown in the top left of the screen. Tesla took that away, at least until you adjust that max speed, which you can do with the scroll wheel. When you first get this update, you're met with a screen that asks what max speed offset you want. They recommend 40% over the speed limit, and please keep in mind that does not mean FSD is going to drive that fast. It means FSD has the option to drive that fast if it feels it's needed for some scenarios, which I've definitely encountered on the highway. When FSD passes somebody, it will move to the passing lane, speed up really nicely, and then move out of the passing lane and lower its speed back just a little bit. Unfortunately, I am still having the same speed control issues that I've talked about before, where in lower speed areas, sometimes FSD wants to go over the speed limit, and in higher speed areas, FSD is driving way too far below the speed limit. Now, the good news is with the 12.5.6 version, it is so easy to now control that max speed even when you have the auto set speed enabled in the settings, that the lower speed limit issue of FSD speeding in those lower zones is pretty much fixed, because you can just use the right scroll wheel. You can see that set max speed in the top left, and you can set it as low as you want without having to change a bunch of settings in the systems or disable it, and still letting FSD decide what speed it wants to go. Because personally, I find letting FSD pick its speed works very well a majority of the time. It's just those times where it's going too much over the speed limit for my preference or too far below the speed limit that I really want those controls back. And unfortunately, a Tesla employee indirectly responded to me on X and pretty much defended the way they have it set up now. And I totally get their vision for when this thing, is autonomous or we have full self-driving unsupervised. But as of now, I'm in full control. I really need to be able to make the car go the speed limit and not allow it to go 15 or 20 miles per hour under the speed limit, because that is just not safe. We have a pretty impressive drive here, so I hope you enjoy this one. All right, so FSD is deciding to take a different route than the road is closed. I see, this is the same route that we took last time, but we're turning left here, and there's a closed road up here. So that is where you can clearly see this was map data. FSD was planning this well before we even got here to take this left turn, instead of what we've done the past few videos going straight through there. So it's really nice when that map data is up to date. I do have a couple of closed roads on my way to work, actually, and I do drop off Giant Baby at school on the way to work, which is a lot of fun. There's a closed road on the way, and it's not in the map data. So FSD keeps trying to take this road that's closed. I mean, it's been 2 days in a row, so it hasn't been that long. But still, it's super annoying when that kind of data isn't in the map. This video is brought to you by Joa, my choice for premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your exclusive discount with the link in the description below. All right, so nice stop for this red so we don't block the intersection. Love to see that. There's a decent amount of congestion down here due to, I'm assuming, this construction. So really nice to see that for the FSD testing, not so much if you actually want to get through here. There is one other change I wanted to talk about with 12.5.6.1. I don't want to take too long, so watch the 12.5.6 video if you need a little more context on this. But when you change the set speed, so you're greeted with this, I'll show you a screenshot, with this message when you first get this update. And Tesla recommends a 40% speed offset, so I left it. But if you ever don't like that, you can adjust it with your right scroll wheel. And as you adjust it, you can see up there in the top left the max speed. So again, it doesn't mean FSD is going to drive this speed. It's just the max that the software can choose. It can choose anywhere below that as well. So I don't know where it was. I'll leave it on 35. And then that will disappear when you're not adjusting it. So interesting. I guess they're trying to clean up the UI. I kind of liked just seeing it there. But that's probably more from me trying to analyze all this stuff and all that. So just kind of having it on, chilling, letting it do its thing. I can see why they maybe are hiding that when you're not adjusting it. All right, so this is the busy intersection. We usually come from over there and make a left turn. But because of the construction, we had to do something different today. So I'm going to change that. And yep, I'm paying attention to the road for you. And we'll see. Yeah, so it's going to take a different left turn up here. A little hard braking for that guy pulling out. He is waiting for me. I went to hit the accelerator, but then FSD took off right before I got to it. So pretty funny there. We had plenty of space. I don't know. He could have continued moving. FSD could have continued moving. I don't think any of that was necessary from either party, but it did happen that way. Now we're going to see here what FSD does. To me, it's pretty obvious that this person to the right, they have a turn signal on. They are pulling out of a parking spot or something, and they want to get in, and FSD lets them in. So really nice there. You know, you just never know if FSD sees their turn signal or what they're going to do or whatever, but it definitely waited, and then they were able to get out. And we have a vehicle and a pedestrian to wait for here. And very nice, very smooth, awesome. All right, let me show you the stop sign behavior here in real time because stop signs have been so good. We will make our stop. That truck over there parked. To me, it looked like they were probably coming for the stop sign. It's now our turn after that pedestrian, and we just flow right through. You know, FSD has been doing four-way stops and doing these stops, blah, 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 for a while now. And it's like, whoa, it did a stop sign, whatever. But the way it's doing it in these latest versions just feels so much better and so much more natural than before. Especially the fact that it makes a complete stop, which is good. Look at this. It gets to the stop sign in a good amount of time. It's not taking forever to get here. We stop. Now that there's no one around, we're just going to continue. Just like that. But when there are people around, if someone goes, you know, it's not FSD's turn, say this car goes, as the car to the right is going past us, FSD starts to roll when it's its turn. It knows it's its turn. It kind of asserts, it shows everyone like, yes, I know it's my turn. You know, that's that kind of like unofficial communication you have with other drivers. Like if it's someone's turn, I'm waiting for them to go. I want to see their wheels moving. I want to see the tires starting to turn so I know they're paying attention. I know they're going to go. Because if not, I'm out of here. That's at least how humans think and humans drive. So it's nice that FSD can kind of get that pre-roll in to show everyone around like, yes, I know it's my turn. I'm going. Just hang on a second. And it does it so smoothly and it feels like effortlessly. It's very nice. So really good here. I rerouted us before this intersection. As you can see up there, it's a no left turn. You know, I'm sure that's map data. The car knows you can't turn left here. I actually didn't even realize that before I did it. And then I saw this little kind of loop-de-loop it's doing. And I saw, oh, okay, you can't turn left at this intersection. That's good to know. It's a 5-way intersection instead of the normal 4-way. I don't know what the honking was about. And so it's nice that, you know, it didn't try to do that wrong. Because I've definitely seen it, you know, try to turn places it's not supposed to. You know, when there's signage that says you're not supposed to do something. Man, we're going in front of this big truck. That was actually really smart. So there's, sorry, I don't have the roof cam again, but there's this, you know, big truck behind us here, there, and they were going, number one, they were going very slow. And number two, traffic right here was stopped. So it's not like they can speed up or anything. It was just a really intelligent move because the amount of space we had to make that right turn wasn't huge. But it was more than enough for all the variables that were in play, like the speed and the stop coming up and stuff. So really nice to see that. All right, beautiful. So this is an intersection we are familiar with. We're just approaching it from a different direction. And it looks like we're going to have a nice amount of pedestrian interactions here. So we should definitely go. Okay, very nice. So we made the complete stop. There's a lot going on, but it was our turn, despite that, you know, cyclist going and stuff. And then there's going to be a lot of people at this crosswalk. So this one usually takes a very long time. I'm so thankful we're the first car. We don't have a lead car to kind of guide us here. But this is one where you really got to take the opportunity. So right here, we got to go. Wow. Okay, good. You know, older versions, again, FSD's been kind of doing this stuff, but older versions were just so hesitant and kind of that those little gaps where it was like a good time to go, but not perfectly clear. FSD used to always be really bad at those. And now we're at a point where those little gaps FSD can take, which is exactly what you have to do when you have busy crosswalks like that. And I know some crosswalks are busier than that, and guys, I always get that comment, like that wasn't busy. But historically, that crosswalk can have, you know, you can have 50 people go across there before you even get a chance to try to go. And the gaps are always really small, like, you know, the one we had. So it's nice that FSD can kind of push through there. So unprotected left, we'll move up here. And there's a lot of pedestrians to the left, as you can see over there on the map. So once this car turns, we're good. So see this pre-rolling? That car's in our way at the time. but we're pre-rolling. We even have a pedestrian that walked out, and then we just break and wait for him. That's what you got to do. It's very pertinent to be assertive in these situations if you ever want to make it anywhere. So going to Pinball Pete's, I don't know if we're taking a different way. I don't know. We've been taking all kinds of different routes. Yeah, we're going to take a new route. I'm very happy with today's drive because it's been mostly new stuff we haven't had a lot of experience with, and FSD is still kind of killing everything. Maybe that's not the best thing to say. It's doing a very good job with everything. At the end, I'll put in a random destination. I've been liking doing that because I don't want people, I like to do the same routes so we can see a little wiggle there as we were waiting for that pedestrian. I like to do the same route so we can kind of see the progress over time. But then some people, bring up a good point that if you keep doing the same route, it's going to learn it, or Tesla could even, go in there and tweak map data and stuff to make the drive good for you. I wouldn't put it past them, They obviously are aware of the content. They obviously watch the stuff. They know what's going on. So it's always good to throw some curveballs in there as well. And I think going in here and doing the feeling lucky, I guess they could rig that too, right? But I guess going in there and doing the feeling lucky is a good way to at least end it off with something totally random. I'm not picking, and we don't know what's going to happen, but it's still, getting to see what the software can do. So we waited for that pedestrian. Really interesting choice. It's not a crosswalk. I don't know. I'm a little conflicted on that one. I don't hate it because, it's safe for us. But, then you saw him run out in front of a car. I don't know. It was fine. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, nice braking and moving over. Very good. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness, dude. This is just crazy. Let's roll this out. Especially roll it out because, is it just me? I sometimes we'll say oh, this update's a huge improvement for me, and I'll show it on video. I'm not cutting anything. You guys can see it for yourselves. And then other people get it and they're like, oh, it still sucks for me. And that's I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I hear that, it's so disappointing for me because when I have these good, we gotta stop for this guy, folks. Show very nice. Giving the robot the head nod. When I have these great experiences and then it's yes, cool, this stuff is better, blah, blah, blah. And then I see it go out to everyone and, half the people are like, oh, this is the worst update ever, or this sucks, or blah, blah, blah. It's kind of disappointing for me, honestly. I want people to have kind of the same experience I'm having, and it's just not always the case. So I'm always interested once I have this for a bit and I've kind of been this is cool. And then I kind of adapt and I get a new normal where I can start being pickier about other things. I always like to, see what other people's experiences are in different parts of the country and stuff. So this is another intersection we haven't been to in a long time, but we used to come here often because it's usually decently busy with pedestrians, as you can see. So again, there's not 1,000 people here, but we have enough that keep crossing that prevent us from proceeding. So we're gonna wait. Yeah, so the car is, we get this little awkward thing. I looked at her. I should have just ignored her. But she looked at me and kind of waited for a second thinking, okay, I'll let you take this chance. But then I didn't go, so she walked, which was good. And then tiny bit slow on that turn. I'm trying to look around. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really matter. It's just I noticed it felt a little different. But yeah, I made it through there. We didn't have a bunch of stop, go, a bunch of oh, here's a huge gap and you're not going. It's just doing what it needs to do. It's so good. All right, here's some more pedestrians. It's our turn at the stop sign, but we have some pedestrians to our right as well. So here, oh my gosh. I was going to say here I would start rolling, and it does it at the same time. And I am not always saying FSD has to drive the same way as me. I get that point. It doesn't need to do the same thing as me. A lot of times it's safer than me and doing things better than me, even though I complain about, this or that, or say I would do something differently. But man, when that stuff happens, when you're I would start rolling here, and as you say that, it starts doing the same thing. It does feel kind of like magic. All right, let's see here. Oh, I'm not going to touch anything. We got to let this play out. Should be a pretty simple go-around maneuver here. Yeah, nice little turn signal. Nice and slow. Oh, the turn signal back even? Okay, I see it. Why not? Man, let's go. All right, I'm going to end this trip. And we're going to go to... Where's this stuff? Lucky. There you go. I put that in. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to adjust it. I'll just pick the first one, A. Maybe I should have looked for something a little farther, but whoa, holy moly. Yeah, oh man. This is another busy intersection. So you watch this while I think about, it's just this route is really boring. So let me do one more Lucky and just look at the mileage. Wow. I don't even know where we're going. We're probably going straight. Oh man, this is good. That's another intersection we go through a lot that's just busy. Oh, these are even closer. Oh, 6.6 is, all right, 1.5. I don't know what that is there. 1.5 miles. I just was looking at the mileage. It looks kind of boring as well. Well, what are you going to do? We'll leave it in. No. All right, we can't do that. You tried to pass somebody, but he's waiting for someone to park up ahead. Disengagement. I can see why it happened, but it does kind of seem... Am I wrong here? No, I'm not wrong. Okay. I was a little confused there myself. I'm like, is this guy going to go, or what's he doing? There you go. So we got a disengagement on this one at mile 3. Yeah, I see why FSD did that. And, okay. What is happening? Okay, I have no clue what was going on there. That's up for debate. We definitely could have passed that car. He's sitting there and talking to people. Now I'm conflicted. This is the situation we're in now, y'all. It's not super clear-cut. I do believe we should not have passed. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to make a poll. I might remove that disengagement, depending on what you guys say. Really nice here, rolling through this intersection with the pedestrians. Another intersection we often would get stuck at because of too many pedestrians. There weren't that many there today, but... All right, let's see if we can just get to this last destination. It's 3 miles away. Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot. When it shows you that distance, it's as the crow flies. It's not the route. So this is exactly where this new Auto Max is working out beautifully. I don't know if you saw it there. In the top left for a second, it showed the new set speed, and it was 28. FSD accelerated hard right up to that 28 limit. The old Auto Max would not have had that 28 max. We wouldn't have known what the max was, but it would have been higher, and it would have flown right up to 35-ish miles per hour in this 25. It did it consistently in the older version 12 version. So really nice to see, that this new implementation has kind of fixed that one error. Alrighty, we're approaching the end of the drive here. I don't know if you noticed because it's fast forwarded through, but this black Jeep here just passed us pretty quick because the last stretch of road was 25 miles per hour and FSD wanted to go, somewhere between 25 and 28 miles per hour. And on that road, people are normally going like closer to 40, which I don't do. I think that's way too much speeding, but that's what people do. And then he zoomed past us to be stuck in that traffic up there. The more I watch all this stuff around me, the more I lean towards the slower driving. But anyway, let me see here. Yeah, that's pretty much the end. Here's the stats. I'm going to put up a poll, and I may delete that disengagement depending on what y'all think, because I am debating. I'm not sure. After watching the entire situation play out, I don't know. But hope you enjoyed this one. You will see me in FSD in the next video.